Guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how to make this TOPSHOP Bandeau. So yeah, we're not going to pay $8, 8 euros rather, for something that we can make at home. So what you're going to need is your 1 meter of fabric, your elastic band, your scissors, your thread that is similar to the fabric, and a sewing machine. By the way, the zipper and the safety pin were going to be used for a different shirt that I was going to make, but I was like, nah, let's just make this TOPSHOP shirt because it was easier and it took less time, and I think I'm going to take my time on the other one that I'm So now you want to lay your 4 pieces on top of each other, your front and your back, and cut them so they are kind of similar. They don't have to be similar because it's going to be an inverted top, and you'll see what I mean later. So all the side seams and everything will be on the inside, so you won't see it like you would with a regular t-shirt. Because I don't have a serger, I have to do it this way. So yeah, this is the easiest way. Also, the scraps were from the pieces I just cut. I kind of cut into larger rectangles, and you want to do that. You want to cut the fabric larger than you expect, because you're going to lose a lot when you start actually sewing, and you're going to need it for the stretch. So now you want to get to the sewing machine, and you want to lay your fabric out. And once you lay your fabric out, you want to see which sides you should be sewing on and which side is the wrong side and the right side. And usually you can tell that by the vibrance of the color on one side. And if you can't tell, what I usually do is I stretch out the fabric to where you can see the ribs, and sometimes the wrong side will have like little pieces of fluff, so you know that the right side is the opposite side, if that makes sense. What you do for your front pieces, you want to lay the right sides on top of each other, and you sew a zigzag stitch on the side seam. Try to be careful with this because the fabric can be kind of loopy or wonky or anything. It's because the stretch, and try not to stretch the material too much because it'll leave like little lumps in your fabric. So on the inside, it should be a zigzag stitch, and you cut off the excess seam allowance. And here I'm just using my zigzag scissors, I don't know why. And you do the same to the other side. So here I go a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm not actually like pulling the fabric, I'm just kind of feeding it through. Then you cut the thread. And the zigzag stitch you can see, and then on the right side you shouldn't be able to see anything at all. So it looks like this. Now what you do is that you take the right sides of both the front and back of the tops, and you sew them all together, if that makes sense. And you put one inside the other with the right sides kissing each other. I got that from Navarro, shout out to her. And then you put your pins in so you can make sure that you show a straight line on the top and bottom seams. I'm using pins earlier, as you guys can tell with this part, you actually really want to use pins because you want to make sure that the tops and bottoms are straight. The side seams you can kind of get away with because your arms are covering them for the most part, and it'll be alright. But I do want to say something. I actually ended up doing the side seam wrong, so you only want to sew one side seam down and leave one other side seam open. You'll see why in the end. And I also lost some footage of me sewing the tops and bottoms, so sorry. But now you want to take your elastic and line it across the top and the bottom. I already sewed the bottom seam, now I'm sewing the top seam. And when you sew down the elastic, you want to sew down with a zigzag stitch to give you the most stretch from your elastic that way, and you won't rip the material. So you kind of tug on the elastic slightly, not a lot, because then it'll create ruffles in your pattern. Like, you can do that only if you like, but I chose not to do that for this because I wanted to look straight across. So when you pick up the shirt and you look at what's happening on the inside, it should look like a baby diaper. And I know that's not what you expect to see, but yes, it should really look like a baby diaper. And this is what it looks like when I'm done. And I will get up to show you what it looks like, the long one. And then you stick your arm through it and invert it, and that's what it should look like. So now that you've inverted the top, you're going to sew the inside side seam, and that's pretty easy. But when it's time to sew the outside side seam, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually really hard. So now you sit down at the sewing machine and you sew zigzag stitch. So when you do the outside seam, you can do it the same way. Just kind of sew the inside as much as you can, but once you get to the top, you want to stop and you want to sew up the top part by hand. And I didn't show that on camera. But this is what the shirt looks like. You can see the inside seam. I'm going to wear that on the inside, where I hand stitched it. And this is what it looks like on me. Take that TOPSHOP. You ain't getting my coins. No. Self-sufficient out here. I'm sorry for my armpits, guys. Like, just have naturally dark armpits. Yeah, this is the Instagram photo I took after that. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with you guys on Thursday.